All right, so this is a playtest of Never Knows Best, GauntletCon 2018, Oliver Twist. I like that name. It's funny. You'll see. And we have our characters made. We're going to do one last set of procedure where everybody's going to introduce their characters. Everyone's going to label each other, and then we're going to get going. Let's just go left to right on my Hangouts window. Asher, do you want to start? Introduce your character.
All right. My character is Bibai. They're the proxy. And I have to look up what all this stuff means. So I guess I should go over the proxy a little bit. They were involved with a relationship with someone who's now gone. So I like externalize that on someone else, I guess. I'm flexible and audacious. I have intense eyes, dejected look, and I fear being aimless. What else do we do? Should we go over all the traits and stuff?
No, I think that's good enough, I think, for now.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, Darren?
I'm playing Helio, not Hello. Helio uses he, him pronouns. He's the contained playbook, so just kind of by personality and by like kind of life events, he's more contained to the point where like not very expressive and perhaps problematically unexpressive. He's got an explicit look. I think he controls a lot of his expression by being like really sartorial and keeping like a very like clean, controlled appearance that's like very stylish. But he's got quiet eyes, and on top of all of that, he's afraid of losing social status. Yeah, that's Helio in a nutshell.
Cool. And Lauren?
All right, am I good? I'm coming through. Yes, hi, I am Lauren. Playing. I just had it up and was filling some stuff in about my room. I am playing Darrow. My playbook is the anchor, he, him. And my look is indignant, which is pretty cool. I don't know exactly how one looks indignant, which is like being mad about perceived unfair treatment. And so I think he kind of always has like a permanent scoff on his face. Eyes are distant, kind of always looking out at the horizon, and my fear is inadequacy, that I'm never going to measure up to my sister who left, which leads me to the anchor. I am the anchor for someone, and someone has left my life, in which case it's my older sister, who is Denise, and my anchor, I am the anchor for Bibai, correct?
Yes.
Yes, I'm the anchor for Bibai, who was involved with my older sister in some way. Did we establish what way?
Oh, we didn't, I don't think. Hey,
were you like best friends? Were you dating?
That's a good question. Yeah, because she kind of moved away, right? Because you're in the same house.
Yeah, I think the easy answer is she grew up and now she went to college and she went away from our creepy wind turbine town.
Yeah, maybe it's just good friends. Like maybe she introduced me to magic, guys. So that's why I have them all in my room now.
All right. I'm cool with that. That works for me. And my repressed trait is static, because I am afraid to move on now that my sister is gone. And I think that covers... Oh, my traits are unassertive and cynical. Those are my main ones. I think that covers everything.
Cool. Yeah, also, if you play my games, the look of indignant is right on my bread and bullshit. I always like putting looks where people are like, what does that mean? I'm like, you tell me.
Perfect.
I think I'm smart, but I'm probably not. Cool. Simon?
I am playing Malak, he, him, playing the analog playbook. He looks sullen, he has gunmetal eyes, whatever that is. I just like the sound of the word. And he's in fear of an identity crisis. He doesn't really know who he is. His traits are eccentric and curious, and his repressed trait is asocial. He relates more to machine than people, being more logic than emotional.
Cool. Okay. So now we're going to go back to Asher. And what happens is all the other players give them a label based on how their character sees them subjectively. So essentially, you're judging them. It's middle school all over again.
Sorry, should everyone else first? Is that?
They'll place labels on you, and then we'll go to Darren and such, and then you'll get to label Darren.
3 labels total?
Yes.
Oh, okay. B-Buy. What's B-Buy's deal?
Just say, I don't know if I'm doing this correctly. I'd just say they are noisy.
Noisy. I think B-Buy is bossy.
And I think B-Buy is arrogant.
Welcome to middle school. So
what?
the important thing to note about this, though, is the interesting thing about labels is you can they're like omnidirectional essentially. So Asher, when you're playing, you'll be able to use a label in order to have a higher die roll if you play into them. So it gives you power, but then also other people, when they're interfering with you, use labels to mess with it. So it's a two-way street essentially. And there are moves to get rid of labels and change labels and such like that. But yeah, that's the important thing to know about it, is that labels can give you sort of power in this game as well as be detrimental, just as in life. Anyway. What about Helio? Everybody label Helio.
Wait, let me make sure we got all the labels down.
Oh yeah, you're missing arrogant.
And that's all.
Yeah, that's it. So you'll have 3. So what about Helio? What do people think about it? Yeah.
Could I say like fragile?
Sure.
Because they're afraid of he's afraid of losing social status.
Yeah. Good old Fragile.
Is Helio the one with the milk bag thing?
No. That's fucking B-Buy.
It's B-Buy. Sorry, I got the 2 confused.
B-Buy with their damn milk bags.
He suggested it. I was playing off that.
So I guess just write them in yourself for on Helio's labels. So what do we have so far?
Fragile.
Yeah, fragile. What else?
Milk
People?
bag.
Yeah, I don't think
Just a
that's a
milk bag.
label.
Milk bag.
You're such a milk bag.
Afraid of losing social status.
I think Helio's cold.
Cold.
I think that Helio is. Oh wait, no, I was gonna say I think they're too locked down, but no, they are. That's the whole thing.
That's true. It could be something like distant.
Distant was okay. So distant was the word that was on my mind, and if 2 people thought of it, then I think that's fine.
Not to label myself, but
Cool. And what about Darrow? Is that right?
Darrow, yeah. Lay it on me. Just be brutal.
I think that Darrow is clingy.
Mean.
Oop.
I was gonna say like bully, but you're not assertive. it's just mean.
I like mean and cynical playing together really well.
Oh god, yeah.
Just dropping some Spock logic.
Jesus.
Darrow's just walking around being like, we're all dying.
That's pretty much it. Like, we're all gonna die here. This town sucks. We're never getting out.
No.
That's fun.
All right, so you're a downer.
They're down and nice. Good
Yeah.
one.
A downer, mean, and clingy. Are we going with mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Cool. And then Malik. Is that right? How you say it?
Eyes, look at that.
Malik is a space cadet.
I'm gonna label Malik as brash because I think eccentric and curious kind of can come off that way.
One day I'll grow up to be the Space Force.
If you're lucky.
I'll say like unreliable.
I feel like Asher's labels are like mean in a very pinpointing way. So good.
Well, because he's so focused on computers and stuff, right? He doesn't care about us.
Yeah, you can't really like ask him to do anything because he's just gonna go work on his computer.
Boom. Okay. All right. So you're all labeled. You've all introduced each other and whatnot. Let's. Pardon? Okay. Cool. So let's start off with short little vignettes of your room, and then I'll hard frame you into a scene. So whoever wants to go first for describing their room.
I'll bite. Darrow's room has one window on a wall, and the bed is pressed up against the opposite side of it. So like the sun comes in and wakes him up, and then between the two is a bookshelf full, like half full of books, and there's a desk where there's a couple of like notebooks on them, and one's open and it's completely empty. Nothing's been written in it, but there's a pencil there and a couple of models, and I want to say Gundams because this is just anime as hell, but they're all, he's got like 3 kits open and they're only half built, none are finished. There's clothes on the floor that are dirty, and then clothes on the chair that aren't, but he hasn't put them away and probably never will. Like, it just kind of goes into this cycle. And I think that's where we get him like putting on the jacket with the cool pins and buttons on it. And I think the back of his has a big patch that's like 2 crossed boxing gloves. And then the other pins are like Gundams and probably like a book and a broken coffee cup. And I want to say a fire alarm bell, just because that sounds cool. And I think that's his room. Oh, there's definitely that like he's got a cassette in the cassette player that's on like the dresser between the window and the desk with all the models on it, and there's just piles of cassettes, but those are like neatly organized and all labeled very well, and he's definitely got one of those in playing.
Is it labeled like chronologically, or
they're all mixtapes, so it's like Summer Drive 09 or For By the Lake, Windy Night. Like they're all highly specific. Each one is a mood. Yes, labeled by feeling. Exactly. They're all moods, and it's like, oh cool, I got the perfect one for this. I got to put this on like right now. Yeah, so, and then like some are probably chronological, but there's definitely, most of them are just moods.
cool. Anyone else wanna? We get that short little vignette, right? Like as the camera goes through the room, showing us the important things that the audience doesn't yet understand, but soon will. And then we cut to another room.
I'll go because I think we're like neighbors, right?
Yeah, I think so. I like that. Your house is like right next to mine.
Yeah, and one of the things I put was a prism garden. So I think like maybe in the mornings, like I spray like rainbow light on your house, right? So you can get that bisexual lighting in the morning. And I have the magic cards all over, and I'm imagining like a Rube Goldberg machine kind of made up with all this stuff. Probably like to open my windows in the morning, right? Open the blinds. And then I have like traditional Romanian garb. And I think the, what's it called? Collar is like, has all these pins on it, and like the sleeves do too. Yeah, that was all my idea.
Do your parents get mad at you for that? Putting all these pins and stuff on traditional garb?
Probably. But the nice thing with pins is you can take them off, right?
Do you do that thing when you go to school where like you have a outfit on over top, and then you get out of there, go to the bus stop, and like take off the over layer to have your real layer, the cool layer?
I probably just put the pins on, right? And then I have like another like jacket or something to put on top of this, right? That has the patches and pins and stuff too.
Cool. Who's next?
Go. Helio's room. I think that Helio's room is in a corner of the house, and I think his parents put a skylight in when they put a real bed in. I think that was like maybe the last project that his dad did. So that's there always above him. And probably there's like a good desk, a good sensible desk with like a chair that his mom bought that she was like, don't like play around on this because I'm not buying you another chair. And then I think on like a shelf somewhere, maybe a bookshelf, there's like a pair of his dad's old Air Force Ones, and they're like old, they're like collector's items sort of thing. So like they were like worn a little bit because his dad wore them as a kid or something, but they've been like cleaned up and they're like on display. And then I think he has a lava lamp because he's a youth and he still thinks that those are nifty. And that's probably on his desk. And then I don't know, it's a pretty like plain room, I think. Like I don't know, he doesn't do emotional attachment, right? Doesn't do much emotional things at all these days. But I think the last thing I liked is that he has this quilt from his grandma. Like his parents probably made him keep it or like use it in his room, but he likes it. Like it's a real good quilt, right? So it gets cold, and now he's got a quilt.
Cool. What about Malik?
So Malik has his desk is cluttered with computer electronic parts, probably machines that just dismantled to look at them, how they function. the other part of his decks are action figures from his favorite shows and TV, and lava lamps also, and and band posters. Everything's like very red and black, red on black, or things like that. He has for the pins. He has a denim jacket. With its pins are not specific. He has like the whole collection of something like the Power Ranger pins. He has all of them neatly in a row on his back, things like that.
Cool. Okay, so from those series of shots, we then cut to like the streets. Normally, I think this is the summertime, so you're not in school right now, and to stay as like a group and do these things, I think you're legit doing these milk runs all together, right? So, or it can be newspaper or something like that, but I like the idea of these milk things, which was... So yeah, so do you guys deliver the milk, or do you collect people's discarded milk and then cash it in, or both?
I like the idea that we go around on like bikes and collect these like milk bags and bring them in to recycle them. I thought that was great, especially because I'm imagining them as not like the milk bags you get in like elementary school or middle school, or even like the big ones they have in Canada where apparently milk comes in bags. I'm imagining
Canadian milk bags. Damn it! Give me Canada.
I'm imagining like weird industrial like plastic bags, like big things. People drink a lot of milk. I don't know, but I love the idea that we collect discarded milk bags.
Sure. Okay. So do you just collect them? You're not delivering them?
Oh, do we take them in and turn them in for money so we can buy more pins?
Makes sense.
Also, we're gonna get our pens and patches
with milk bag money, of course.
Milk bag money, like good milk bag money.
Nice. Yeah, that's what the milk bags look like. I guess somebody Googled it. Nice. Called out. Yeah, we don't have that for most of Canada, I'd say. But anyway, that's fine. So maybe we get these slow shot with some Beck playing right in the background of showing your guys' rooms and whatnot, and then we get a like jump cut to y'all on your bikes going. Maybe just cresting over a hill and then going down it, and then we see like the town splayed out before you, right? And then using the things that we've just talked about previously. Normally I wouldn't do this, but why don't we paint the scene and you guys tell me what the town looks like? Mostly because no one on the recording ever heard that. So yeah, just maybe give me... I don't know how to phrase the specific paint the scene, but just tell me certain things about the town that we notice as you go over and start going down. And we'll start with Simon.
Why me? Well, like we said earlier, every shot, even like in the windows of the room, and every shot we see of us goes on by, there's always the wind turbines, the wind turbines in the background. There's always one in every shot.
Cool. What about Lauren?
So we have those, like, as we're riding our bikes down, those like massive wind turbines that rise even above that hill with the logos on them that look like eyes. And I think like as we come down, we get that very overbearing sense that they're watching over us. And it's summer, right? Like you said, so we're not in school, but there's that idea that like adults still have to work. And so the turbines are probably going faster right now. And like our bike riding is coming to a halt because we have to wait at stoplights for cars.
No freedom.
Zero
Yeah.
freedom. Can't even ride our bikes.
Yeah. And what about you, Darren? Right now I'm using your player names because this is like a meta question. Normally I'll use your in-character names. Just a side thing. Darren?
Playtest note. I think that this is summer. Okay. So I think that as we're pedaling furiously with our bags, our milk bags to return, as we're going through town, everything is a single-story building. There's not really any skyscrapers or anything. And I think that, like we were saying, it's kind of like a dead zone for like birds and things that fly because of the turbines. And probably like a no-fly zone. Turbines don't go 30,000 feet in the air, but you know, in this anime, they do. So I think that like the noise of like the cicadas and grasshoppers, and especially at nighttime, the grasshoppers, is almost like unbearable because there's maybe not like really a lot of pedestrian walk areas, so there's just not a lot of noise aside from like the occasional car or like the bell from the bikes, and it's just like screaming. Yeah, that's a good point. There's just these screaming cicadas. Maybe even this is one of the cycles, right? We're in the 7-year period where the like big brood has crawled out of the ground. So maybe even sometimes you have to actually like yell across or over the sound to each other.
Cool. Asher?
I think it's just very quiet besides the cicadas. I would probably get a few shots of the school just being like empty, right? Because this is summer. Maybe some people just like hang out. Yeah, it's just like a very small town. Maybe they're like cows in the field grazing, you know? Yeah, everyone else took all my ideas.
Cool. Okay. And then as a reminder, part of the decompressing questions at the end of this is working in the visual motifs. And it's on a per player basis, so make sure that you're hitting on the themes as we go, essentially. I think it's still early. It's like in the summer, so it's still bright out, even though it's like some ungodly hour. And y'all got your milk bags, and you're headed to the recycling plant, I guess, where they do that. And as you pull up, like maybe we get like the skid stops of the traditional kids on bikes action, right? And I think there's a few crews of kids that do this. One of the earlier, like maybe last week or something, it probably feels like it's been forever because you're kids, but it was just last week, that one of your friends, Oliver, y'all got into an argument with him about something. What was that about? Anyone can answer the question. And as a result of the argument, he switched milk bag teams.
Well, fuck Oliver.
Did he want to like go do something and didn't want to collect milk bags with us that day? But we were like, no, you got to come because we're like this close to getting like new patches or something.
Sure. Was he like the radical of the group? Was he like, we should go to the plant and fuck stuff up or something like that?
Wow, Oliver.
Or
man, we just want milk bags, dude.
Or spray paint or something like that. Something.
He got a new cool
radical than the milk bags.
Oliver was, I think, maybe he was just like, we should take the day off and like go somewhere we're not supposed to. Mm. Oh, what if Oliver was like, no, we should climb one of the windmills?
Yep, that's it. That's the one.
Cool. Okay, is everyone cool with that?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So he got angry, scoffed, and as a way of just sort of like hurting you, he probably temporarily just switched over to these other kids, right? It'd be funny if you guys had crew names for this. But yeah, he swapped over, and you see these kids' bikes lined up in the bike racks as we see the camera show you guys skid to a stop here, but Oliver's bike is not there. And the other kids just start to come out as you pull up, and they're talking about how they haven't seen Oliver in like a day or two. But as soon as they see you, they start to like clam up and give you the like I don't know what expression it would approximate, maybe like the expression that dance crews give each other or something, right? Like when they're challenging each other to a dance off. I think it's not like so serious that it would be an actual physical confrontation, but more like you are our rivals and we acknowledge it. I imagine it very like Scott Pilgrim-y with the Battle of the Bands type thing. What is the kid's name? The leader of the other gang. Oh, he's a dick, so we'll call him Chad. Chad is talking about how Oliver's like shirking his duties, all that, and then he clams up when you get there, and he comes in front of you and he puts his hands like on his sides, and he's like, "How many did you get?" We got like 126 or whatever. I don't know. Quite a bit.
Chad, there's not even 126 people who live in this town.
And he kind of like looks around, and actually he looks at like the guy behind him to the right, and the guy kind of like nods and says like, "That's true." And he's like, "Well, we got a lot." Probably more than you.
Diva, did you count?
We got like a cart full.
Yeah, we got a cart full.
Cartful's not a real number, B-By.
like a few blocks.
And then he like during the exchange, he looks at each one of you and is like looks a little bit surprised, and he's like, "How come Oliver's not with you? I thought that when he left us, he just went back to you guys."
Oliver left us for you. He's probably found another third group of kids on bikes who collect milk bags to
That's
shack up with.
preposterous. We all know that there's only two.
Okay,
Two that matter.
Maybe Oliver's out of the game.
Maybe he's all washed up.
He's all washed up. Oh my god, this is so preposterous. I love it. Okay, so even though this is a little bit of an absurd absurd thing happening, let's pay attention to the moves. So some of the moves you can do is get your way, which is a way that you can label other people. You can lash out, which is the same as Monster Hearts. You start to try to hit somebody and beat them up and stuff. You can run away from a situation you don't like. Using labels is similar to Monster Hearts. Other players' labels you can use to both hinder and help them in situations. It gets a little bit more complex when we get to turning into robots and fighting and stuff like that, but for now, that's all you need to know. When you express yourself, you clear distress, and you can change an appropriate label. So you sort of prove that you're not like that, right? You can also, if you do well, get XP from that. When you take distress, this is the important thing, is taking distress is entirely subjective to you unless it's a move that I'm doing. So if somebody says something that you think would cause you distress, then it does, which means that thing could trigger you into overflowing into a robot. It's an entirely subjective thing, unless I'm, doing the move, and then at which point I'll inflict distress on you, and then it's still your choice as to how you respond to the distress. You could overflow or you could not. Rejecting conformity is important because it's the only way, I believe, let's see, is rejecting conformity, you'll see, is change or remove the label of your choice. So that's quite good. You can discover something new about the adult world. You can inspire somebody else to reject conformity, and you can overflow without releasing your bad repressed traits, which is the only way to do that. Rising to the moment is sort of our catch-all move in this game, where it's like defying danger, except that it's when you're afraid of something. And shaping the world is kind of like spout lore, except you're the one who's telling me the things about the world and you're adding it. And sometimes that'll be a give and take situation about the fiction. If it's something that's sort of something that I, as the MC, should know and should be adding, then I'll tell you it. If it's something that isn't, then you'll be the one that gets to add it. And those things are called details. And then the other things are about fighting stuff, so we can deal with that. But yeah, so just be aware that even though we're in a weird situation with this dynamics, there's still group dynamics in play and peer pressure and all that kind of stuff. So if you're going for a move, angle yourself towards it and hit me with a prompt if you think so, etc.
I need to repress a trait.
Okay.
Or I mean, repress an emotion.
Okay.
It's a start a session.
Oh shoot. Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
I forgot. I haven't thought about it at all, but maybe the emotion I want to repress right from the get-go is well, I just want to go with angry. I like that.
Okay.
Shut down. And then convert it to a trait, decide if it's bad or good, and take this one ongoing to dealing with it, but can't internalize how to until I grow up. If good, you're vulnerable. Okay. Anger. Do I see anger? Anger, I see anger as bad. Angry. Bad. So yeah,
Okay.
+1 when I try to be angry? Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does anyone else have startup session stuff? I forgot to ask. No? All good?
I'm good.
Okay, cool. Okay, so we were comparing milk bags. Chad just says, like, we haven't seen Oliver in 2 days, and we haven't seen him around town either. So if you guys have been stashing him somewhere or something, then you should let us know. And then both of the people behind him look like really confused. They're like, why would they do that? But I think it's quite clear that they were only doing quite well at competition wise the last week because they had Oliver and now they want it back, basically. So Chad is suspicious that you are keeping Oliver from him for some reason. So he's like, y'all didn't make up, hey?
Well, maybe if you focused on your people in your gang a little more, Chad, you know, instead of focusing on how many milk bags you're collecting, we might know where Oliver is.
Yeah, like you gotta care about people. It's not about profits.
He starts like looking really confused and looking up to the right a lot. And then he looks back and he's like, whatever, all you need to do, or all you need to know is that I'm going to pound your face in unless you give us Oliver back.
We don't have him. He left and he joined you. He doesn't want anything to do with us anymore.
Chad, what's the real problem here?
That Oliver's gone and you took him?
I don't think so. But you're gonna roll up on us, brag about your milk bags, and then be like, hey, by the way, find your friend for us. What's the real deal? Spill.
Look. Oh, wait. This will be a move, I think, actually. I was just going to tell you, but I think you're trying to get your way, maybe?
Heck yeah, I am.
Cool. Okay, so the way it works is you tag your traits and labels, and it scales like what the first thing that you tag is a D6, second thing you tag is a D6, and then the ones after that are like act like +1 forward, so +1, +2, +3, etc. And you tag the things that are relevant in the scene.
Okay.
You need to make a case for them. You can't just be like tag everything.
I think I'm gonna use stubborn, cold, and distant.
Okay.
I mean stubborn because I was like, shut up, tell me what I want to know. And then cold because I don't know if I really care about his feelings, right? I just want to know his motive.
Yeah, well, and you also were like, what's the real problem here, right? Like you were very like, it doesn't seem like you care that Oliver's missing either. You're just like, you're basic, right?
Yeah. And that was going to be my thing for distant. I'm not really focused on Oliver.
Cool. Sounds good. Okay, so you're rolling 2d6 + 1.
Do you have a roll for your party?
Oh, shoot.
You want? I just opened one.
Okay, sure. Yeah, hit us.
Preferably super elf.
Nice. Preferably super.
I so love these roll for your party rooms.
Yeah.
6 + 1.
Thank you, Shane.
No, not reroll selected. Submit. Oh, I got a good 6. A good strong 6.
A good strong 6. Okay, cool.
Is there a help move?
Pardon?
Is there a help move?
You could potentially help. Wait, maybe I
use a label. Help or hinder a roll.
Nope.
I think I deleted that move because I didn't like it.
There's no help in middle school.
Yeah, like you could use it to hurt people. But I don't like having a separate role for it. I might think of something that will work, but so far in most PBTA it's so awkward and weird. But on MS. So I think what was it you said again?
I said, what's really going on here? You come bragging about your milk bags, and then you're suddenly like, hey, find your friend for us. And I want to know what the real deal is.
Cool. Okay, so I'm going to answer your question, but in a different way.
Okay.
So Chad steps forward, and he kicks your bike, and I think it like messes up the front tire a little bit or whatever. And you go, and you fall off of it. And he goes up to you and he like does that thing where like they threaten to punch you, right? Like close to your face or whatever. And he's like, don't worry about what I think, robot boy. He's not very articulate, Chad. But how it kind of answers your question is that I think in the past, Chad hasn't really acted out like this that much. He is like a bully, but his extreme reaction to this kind of shows you that he probably cares about Oliver and where he went and why he's missing, but he doesn't want to admit that. So instead, he lashed out physically, basically. Cool. What is everybody else thinking?
I don't know if there's some milk bags up to them.
Legit? Like, actually?
Well, they're not actually full of milk, right? Because these are all the recycled ones. But
yeah, so I think it would be really hard, like, you're like, oh, you're gonna get a paper cut real good on the side. So do you want to hurt Chad or?
No, I just kind of wanted to embarrass them, I guess.
Sure. What's the plan with that?
Like asking them what they need Chad for, right? Like why are they getting this money? And then
like asking Chad why they need Oliver, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like why do they need the money from Oliver? Right? They're just like using him for profits.
Yes, that is a true thing. Cool. Okay. The immediate thing I will say is that Chad is threatening to punch your friend at the moment, though.
That's true. Maybe I'll offer them like $1. Like, here's your dollar. You don't have to. You don't need Oliver anymore.
Okay. So you're trying to get your way, or is this something that frightens you and you're trying to circumvent in that way? Like, look at the reactions
Right.
and see what you're going for in the fiction.
Oh, what are the moves do? It sounds like earnestly expressing how I feel about you, right? And get your way.
Yeah.
So,
And then you can give them a label, which might be like cowed or whatever too, right? So, sure, that sounds good.
and then I use my labels.
Yes.
Label.
Are you being audacious?
Noisy, bossy, and arrogant. That sounds about right.
You think you're doing all of those things?
Yeah. Right, because they're about to attack him. I'm just like getting in their face even more.
Right, and like buying them off or something. Take your $1 and fuck off, Chad. Okay, sure.
I got 2 2s, so that's a 5.
You guys are doing great. Oh, you mark XP on failure in this game.
Oh, great.
So you take that. So yeah, I think you get in his face, you wave the $1 around, right? And it goes kind of as maybe people were expected, in that he takes the $1 and then he clocks you in the face. Since it's an anime too, you go sprawling like dramatically, right? Like it's like a spinning thing that you land. And you would take 1 distress. So at this point, you could take the distress and turn into a robot if you wanted. I feel like that's a dramatic escalation, but it's a perfectly thing that you could do if you would like.
I kind of want to try the smoke that spreads when you embrace a symbol of the adult world. Erase 1 XP. No, they have 1. And the next move is a 10 plus.
Okay. So what did you want to do?
Flash out with a 10 plus.
Oh, you're gonna lie. Oh, dang. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. It escalated in a different way. Okay, so you're gonna lash out physically with a 10 plus and then remove the XP?
Sure. Or would that be fight alone? Because I'm doing it alone, or
fight alone.
I guess it's not a powerful threat as a robot.
I don't see fight alone even.
Oh, it's in the basic moves with the spreadsheet.
The third.
Oh, the spreadsheet. Okay, the spreadsheet is antiquated. Don't look at that. I was like, what? So the basic moves are get your way, lash out, reject conformity, run away, rise to the moment, use a label, express yourself, shape the world, or peripherally take distress. Yeah, so it would be lash out. There's no fight alone at the moment.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not a robot anyway. Well, what's the best way to get them to go away?
I mean, if you beat them up, that's a thing.
That's true.
You can also maybe... It depends on what kind of fiction you want resulting from the moves, because most problems can be solved with multiple moves. For instance, you could be like rising to the moment for sure as well, like having taken a punch and afraid to take more punches. You could rise to the moment and step up and surmount the challenge. But lash out has different mechanical effects, which is...
Let's try lash out. That seems fun.
You mess him up. Cool. Okay. And so you're spending your move to get a 10 plus on it?
Yeah.
Cool. You still need to do your tags for what you would be doing in the scene, so we know how much damage you would do.
Okay. We'll say the same ones.
Are you being bossy when you punch the guy?
I mean, I'm trying to get him to go away, right?
Yeah. Well, can you give me some fiction with that then? Be bossy.
Like use your own people, chat.
Okay. Sounds good. So on a 10 plus, you inflict up to the amount of distress as the number of traits tagged in your roll, and you choose one from below.
Okay. Oh, I should look at the PDF. Choose one. Is it one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, okay. 7 and 9 is 2. Oh, so these are bad things. I'll cause them harm. That seems to make sense.
So you mean I decide how much distress harm he takes?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so you would have done 3. So give me some of the fiction though. So tell me how Chad punches you, and then this turns into you actually getting him good, I guess.
I think I just like use the momentum from him. Like maybe he like pushes me more than punching, because I only took 1 damage, and then I like back up and smack him.
Right. Okay. So I think maybe you get him in like the face, and it's more about like the blood and the nose and stuff, and the superficial damage instead of like actually how much. Like you don't land as much damage, but he still is cowed in the sense that he realizes that at least in the optics of the situation, it looks like he was quite beaten.
I just hit his nose, but I hit it really hard.
Exactly, yeah. So his nose is bleeding, and he swears and like spits on the ground, right? And he's like, you'd think that his friends would care about him, right? And he goes for like a high five from one of the other guys, and they kind of roll their eyes and hit it. And at this point, do either of you two want to do something? Otherwise, they'll disengage probably.
Not right now.
No, you just let him go. What about
I can't think
Darrow?
of anything cynical or mean or clingy to do here. But also, like, I'm unassertive. So, right, in this situation, I think because someone already rose up to handle it, it's more of a, like, sitting on my bike, like, looking down, ashamed that I didn't step up to do anything.
Okay. You could also, it's a little bit more of on a meta level, but you could also shape the world and add the detail of why Chad was doing that as well.
I actually think I know what I want to do, and what I want to do is talk to, because Biba is the one who just beat Chad up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna, like, after, like, I'm just gonna look at Biba, like, they didn't I obviously didn't do anything with Oliver, and it's just milk money. Get over it. You don't need to beat people up. And I'm gonna use my virtue move to label or I view Biba as irresponsible and then label them as irresponsible for beating up other kids.
Okay.
Because Biba is older than me. And the flip side of that is I can use Biba's irresponsible as if it was my own when standing in defense of them.
Oh.
So you're irresponsible, Biba, but I'm going to protect you later because of it.
Yep. Everything's very cyclical in this game. Cool. So otherwise you just let him take off or whatever?
I'm not going to step in.
Do you guys have like some kind of colors that you do, and then they have opposite colors or something, or is it just kids dressed as?
Yeah, I'm gonna X card colors.
Well, I don't know. You guys took the milk thing to another level, so I'm just giving you the chance.
Well, we don't need gang iconography.
Gang iconography for milk boys and gals and non-binary pals.
Yeah. Well, it's also it's kind of apt even within FLCL, right? Like they tend in that show to make things that kids do have like more importance and be allegorical or a metaphor. Stuff like the water gun, right, is a reoccurring motif in the thing. So anyway, cool. So I just want to see where people's headspace is at. Malik, what are you thinking about all this?
After they left, I say they had more mailbags than us. We are at 89. We could have done more, but Oliver wasn't with us or with them, so I'm worried about Oliver.
I'm gonna look at moves real quick. I think I might have a response to that.
I have a response. I can sneak in here while you're still reviewing. I think after whatever Beebi's doing, but I'll definitely turn on Darrow and Malik, and I'm gonna try to like kind of go off on you guys and be like, why is Beebi the only one who has ever has my back? Where are you guys at?
Is this gonna a move?
Yeah, I'm trying to be angry.
Okay.
Which hits my other move when I try to express it. Oh, it just lets me move it around across it off the time. Oh, wait, that's interesting. Yeah, I want to do it. I'm gonna roll it.
Sounds good.
Is this still traits? Yeah, it's still traits. This is sensitive and fragile. I'm just doing sensitive and fragile.
2d6 straight.
No. 9.
Okay.
9. 7 to 9, the same, but I come across embarrassing, poorly, embarrassing, or awkward. They choose.
Ooh, so who wants to choose? I guess it was you were saying it to everybody, right?
Yeah, I was directing it to Darrow and Malik.
Oh,
What are the
Simon.
choices there?
I come across poorly, embarrassing, or awkward.
I like awkward. Given the interaction of like, why are they the only one who has my back, and you two just stood there and like we're kids in a street fighting over milk bags. And I've got my response now, but is there anything else? Like, is that how that move ends? It's just you're awkward, or is there like more to it?
Oh, I moved it to a good trait. I think trying to express it like trying to have a healthy expression of anger. That's about it though. And then you get to, well, I don't know, I guess like from maybe it's leverage narratively to move into labels or something. I don't know what the goal is. But
I was gonna try and express myself to Malik, and now in turn to Helio because of what he said. And kind of like leaning up against the bike or leaning back on it, and be like, it's just a fight over milk bags, and even with Oliver, yeah, we would have got more, but like, who cares? It's just some more money for more stupid patches. And when you express your distress to someone else, describe how you hope to come across. And I hope to, in this case, come across as like disillusioned a little bit with this whole like milk gang rivalry thing. And I think I am kind of shifting in that, like, after that fight, okay, maybe I do want to get Oliver back sort of idea, because I know that's the direction we're supposed to be heading, so we have to get there eventually. So I'm trying to express that to both Malik and Helio, and I guess Beebi too. And I'm sorry Beebi got punched. Or no, Beebi did the punching and got punched. So I'm sorry for both of those happening. So I'm expressing myself there, and I'm using cynical and mean and downer, I think. Does that apply?
Correct, yeah.
All right. So that's 2d6 plus 1?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's a 3.
Oh, you guys are killing it today.
Doing great.
Cool.
Oh, it might be I might be reading this wrong. It's a 5.
Oh, cool.
Still not any better.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so I think you're having this argument. Ooh, yeah. So you guys are having this exchange, and you know how there's always like a shot in the backgrounds of the windmills turning and stuff like that. One of them is going faster and faster as you all are arguing, and it suddenly slows down. And you know how like when you're looking at it at a particular way, it forms that eye. It looks like there's something at the center of the eye, and it's small, but it's out there. And then we can take a break. Let's take 5, and then I'll check in with where everybody's headspace is at. Simon, are you doing okay?
Yep.
Yeah. All the milk confusion. Cool. Yeah, and just a reminder just to chime in if you don't know a word or anything like that.
For that second segment, everything was fine.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I don't know how esoteric we'll get, but I think we're all pretty much lined up now, I think. That's cool. I always like bringing in a douchey Chad. Confused and douchey.
I like how you can just name a character Chad and all the baggage that come with the name.
Oh, yeah.
Just awesome.
Oh, yes.
I forgot about my +1 ongoing on my last roll.
Pardon?
I forgot about my +1 ongoing on my last roll.
Wait, would it have changed?
Yeah, it would have been a 10.
Well, you could just do that. That's fine.
No. It's I liked how the scene went.
Okay.
I would have remembered if it was that important to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, now I'm protected. Now my good anger protects me.
Yeah. One good thing about playing physically is whenever I play PBTA games in Mate Space, I have tokens for +1 forward and ongoing and stuff, and I just give it to them. Online, it's online it's tougher. Gets lost in the shuffle usually.
It sure does.
Yeah.
Do you allow me to change the move I chose?
Sure. Yeah, no problem. It's a one shot, so.
I don't think I chose the easiest one to kick, the blank slate.
Oh, okay.
To copy the move of another player, especially since I have no idea what their moves are.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I totally forgot that there was a moves tab on here. So sorry about that. I was like, fight alone. Well, that was a long time ago, wasn't it? Yeah, fight alone was interesting before, but we found that we got way more interesting fictional results just from doing lash out regardless. So
So you entirely removed the helping move.
yeah. No more help. It might return in some form. I'm just not happy with the way it is.
I get like rolling a move to help a move might be a bit it's too cumbersome, but
Yeah.
not having it at all, it feels weird.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll do something with hitting on labels to help people or something like that. I like the idea of having some kind of teamwork in it, but the way it was before, it was just quite annoying. So, cool. Okay, so, Darrow, I think you were gonna do something? Something, right?
I thought I just did something.
Who was gonna do something, but then didn't? They were thinking about it or something?
I don't know if anyone was.
No?
I tried to express myself and failed, and then you gave us the shot of the windmill. That's the last thing I remember.
Right. Okay, so is everybody... That can be an ominous shot in the background, right? As y'all are, like, arguing, I imagine the camera panning to that angle that you can line up with the eye and seeing that that form in the distance. Oh, noes. Did anyone else want to interact with what was happening in the recycling bin parking lot?
I think with all the tension of us screaming at each other, I think I'm just going to get on my bike and start to peel away.
Oh, okay. Peace. All right. So I think as you're pedaling away, maybe you're the first one that makes that connection then, right? Like you're pedaling and you see in the distance, in the ominous eye, there's a white of the eye, I suppose, but in the center of it.
Okay, so it's not just a camera feature. The characters see it.
Yeah, you see it. Yeah. It's not something that was there before, for sure. Yeah. And yeah, Asher, is a point. What is it? Is your bike all tricked out or what? Especially with you being all good with machines and all that kind of stuff. Is it like got coils and stuff on the bike, or what does it look like?
Oh, that would be cool. I didn't even thought of that. Yeah, maybe I've added suspensions to the front wheels and curls be cool. Extra lights for when it's dark.
Cool. All right. So you pedal away. You see the thing in the distance. Do you want to do anything with that?
My first thought was going to Oliver's house, but this.
Well, a thing that you could do is if you shape the world, then you can add the detail. And then that's a way of finding out more information or adding more information.
Okay, perfect. I will do that. And shape the world. So what are we rolling with?
Curious.
Curious, yeah. Space Cadet.
I like that. Yeah, I like how like the labels end up helping you, right? Even though like sometimes the ones that are even like mean end up helping you do stuff in scenes and stuff. It's neat.
So 2d6. Of course, 6.
Awesome. Okay. Remember, everyone mark XP when you fail. So I think what happens is you're riding towards them, and we get like a really slow shot of the camera behind you that is slowly like zooming in towards this thing. And as it zooms towards all this, I don't know what the effect would be called, but when you look at the windmills to form this picture, right? The camera goes past you and towards it. The windmills start spinning quite quickly, and there's one in the far back that would be this weird white iris thing, and it spins and spins, and then actually like breaks right off of the windmill, and it starts like in true anime fashion, like ripping apart the ground as it moves and stuff like that. And just like helicopter blades hitting the ground, they're like breaking off and flying and stuff like that. But as it like lays there on the ground, it also has like this glowing about it. What are some of the colors? It's starting to glow blue in the white. Like normally it's white, and it's starting to go blue, and it goes from like a lighter color, or actually I guess it would go from a darker color to a lighter one, like getting to be, I suppose, like sky blue, right? And it starts like twisting and undulating and like almost that it's like an alive material that something's trying to get out of, when it should be just like I don't know what they build turbines out of, but solid things. Instead it's like, yeah, got this weird body horror aspect to it where something's trying to get out of it and all this stuff is happening. So that's what's happening with that. And then maybe we'll get like a cut back to, sorry, just learning everybody's names. Who hasn't gone in a while? What is BB by B? How do you pronounce your character's name again?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay. you all see this. It's obviously loud and destructive and everything. What's running through your head?
What is running through?
Yeah.
This is completely normal now. Well, we saw the person on one of these, right? So it's very dangerous now. Like before, it's like, oh, it's kind of normal, and then yeah, it's getting less normal.
If that's fair.
So I think I'm rushing over there, trying to beat Malik over there.
Cool. Oh, so you like rip out on your bike?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. What about Helio?
I think that I'm overwhelmed. Probably if this big ruckus, we don't hear the cicadas anymore. Everything's shut up. So it's very overwhelming. And that a windmill is tearing apart. And also that stuff's quiet right now. So I think I'm maybe in a little bit of like shock, kind of.
Okay.
I'm absolutely not riding a bike anywhere.
Okay. Cool. Darrow, you see that as well. What are you thinking doing?
Darrow's taking off with Beebi.
Oh dang. Okay.
And like pedaling really fast. And I was like, we're concerned about Malik. And Darrow's like, you shouldn't have yelled at him. Look, now he just gone off, do his own thing. You know how he gets.
So you're saying that as you're biking?
Yeah, like as we're biking, like
Yes,
going really fast, like kind of throwing a hand out there. Like you shouldn't have yelled at, like, I can take it. I'm me. I'm cynical. I'm a downer. I'm mean. Yell at me all you want, but don't yell at the space cadet. So I don't know if that's a move I'm triggering.
What mechanical effect would you want out of that?
I don't think I want a mechanical effect out of it. Unless, like, I've already labeled Beebi as irresponsible, so I think I'm just feeding into that. Yeah, I think that's all I'm doing. Which that's another reason I am kind of lashing out. But I'm not trying to hurt them.
Well, are you trying to use a label, tempt someone to do something in keeping with one of the labels? If they do it, you both mark XP.
Am I using a label? Does that mean using one of mine or one of theirs?
One of theirs.
I don't think so. Well, for the sake of trying to use this move, let's say I am.
Well,
another
thing you could be doing is just expressing yourself, because if you do well on that, you can just get XP from it, right? There's always incentives to express yourself.
Super familiar with all the moves, but express myself is actually, that's it. When you express your distress to someone else, describe how you hope to come across. I hope to come across as rational. Like, quit yelling at him.
Yeah, makes sense. Cool.
So what am I using there? I'm using mean, and that's it. I think. I don't think I'm using anything else. I mean, I'm not. Oh, it might be clingy.
Yeah, I think clingy would
just went away.
It disappeared.
I put it back in. Clingy, like clinging onto another person. I can see that. So clingy. I don't know if downer applies, but I'm definitely being mean, and clingy works.
Sure.
So 2d6. Hey, I got a 7. That's worth something.
Yeah, good one. So you could get them to reciprocate, or you can mark XP. You could both change an appropriate label, or you could clear distress equal to the number of tag traits.
Well, neither of us. That's only me clear distress, so I don't have distress. You both changed an appropriate label. You mark XP. They reciprocate, however feels right to them. I think the more interesting one there is to either us both change an appropriate label or have them reciprocate. Since you're kind of involved in this, what do you think, Beebi?
How does changing a label work?
We just change one of our current labels to a different one, right?
Yep. An appropriate label.
I don't know what I would do, but
Pardon?
I don't know what I would change, but it seems like an interesting thing to do.
Yeah. What do you think you're still irresponsible after hearing that? For
I
instance,
can just get rid of it. I
well, you would change it into something else.
think I'm less arrogant.
Sure, that makes sense too.
But if you change your responsible, I don't think I can use that to defend you anymore.
Oh yeah, sure.
I mean, by all means, if you want to change it, but I think is that how that works?
Yes.
I think that's a good option, so let's go with that. And I think I'm gonna change clingy to defensive.
Maybe I'll do the same thing. Change arrogant to defensive.
Nice. All these guarded teens. Cool. Okay, so that's happening as you guys are all ripping towards this, and then we get maybe like a little bit of a sad shot on Helio. Helio, what are you thinking? How you feeling, buddy?
Like real sad. What's going on? I mean, I think I'm gonna go to Oliver's house. I'm feeling like pretty dejected. Like the group just left me. They didn't even ask me if I'm coming.
Well, they did see like an odd thing.
Well, I know, but like I did too.
Sure.
I have to ask to be included these days. It's rough having friends.
True. Another thing that could be happening is you could be taking distress, which is always a subjective thing that you can do, which could then make you overflow as well.
Well, yeah, I'm probably pretty distressed. I'm never able to get myself distressed.
Sure. So take one distress,
Okay.
and then you overflow and transform.
Oh, I'm doing it all?
It's up to you. I thought you were, but if not, that is cool too.
I don't know if I'm having a crisis. That's sad.
Okay. Well, I thought you could overflow and then get there even before them.
Oh, I have to go to this thing? Okay, well, never mind.
You don't have to go anywhere.
Well, like,
what is your ultimate goal then?
I don't know. I'm just gonna go try and like follow another lead to find Oliver, because
okay.
We don't know that was Oliver.
That's
just
true.
A weird thing on the turbine.
Cool. Okay, so you take distress, you don't overflow, and then what do you do?
I'm gonna go to Oliver's house.
Okay.
Talk to his
Sounds
mom.
good. Well, the good news is it's much closer than this turbine out in a field. So, interesting. What would Oliver's house be like?
Well, this was also your fear, right? Are you like fighting your fear of losing social status here?
Or? Yeah, I mean it could be. If I'm like perceiving myself as if I were just like following along or whatever. Instead of like, well, I don't know. I mean, I'd be giving into it either way, because in this I'm just like actively like rejecting the group because I thought you all just left without me, or if I were just following along, then it would be like I'm just like, well, I guess I'd be giving into it then, right?
No win situation.
Wait, but what am I doing with the fear? What does that matter?
With what?
The fear?
Fear is just something that, number one, when you overflow and you release a bad thing that you fight, I contextualize it with the fear. And also, if I remember correctly, confronting fears might get you XP at the end of session stuff.
Oh, well, I don't think I'm confronting a fear here.
Okay.
Maybe when I meet up with y'all again.
Sure. Okay. Sounds good. So I think an interesting thing is we get the shot of you like grabbing the bike, taking off towards Oliver's house, and then we get like the slow cut across the screen with you getting to Oliver's house, and I'm interested in, do you think you're going there to possibly add a detail or get a detail, or because you wanted a clue? Is it interesting for you as a player to like invent a detail that would be pertinent?
Yeah, I'll shape the world.
Sounds good. Cool. Okay. So what do we think Oliver's house is like, though? Interesting. I think Oliver's house, well, he's been missing for 2 days, so that suggests that his parents aren't home that much. Hopefully, anyway. He probably lives in like a richer area, and like maybe to make it interesting, his parents both work at the plant at like fairly senior positions, and they're the type that like work late and stay over in the factory, and you know, work is king in that situation. Lauren, were you going to say something?
Nope, I fat fingered my button.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so I think the place is like really nice and manicured. They probably have like help come to keep it all tidy and stuff, but it doesn't feel lived in. It feels like pristine and set up in such a way that it's trying to present like the perfect family that is like never even home, right?
It's a good home life.
And it's got like it has, especially since they work at the plant, I think the door is green, but Oliver's room is painted purple.
Thanks. Good choice, Oliver.
Yeah. Cool. So how you shaping that world?
I'm like, I mean, I guess I'd probably just go to Oliver's room. And maybe there's just something like, there's some game or something we all play. So I think I'm like looking for this thing. I'm just like seeing if like, did he like pack up and leave town? Did he like, is he just like visiting like an aunt for the weekend? Or is he like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just doing like real juvenile clue looking. Right. I'm gonna find some trace of him.
Cool. Okay. So I think you're being stubborn and sensitive just in that you're not going to go after your friends. Any other things?
No, I like that. Stubborn and sensitive.
Cool. Let's see how you shape that word. No?
4. What's going on?
Okay, mark XP. And then I'm going to get you to add a detail anyway, and then I will make my move.
Oh, I see. You get to do whatever you want. As usual.
As usual. You are channeling Helio.
No, I meant just on a miss. That's like the MC gets narrative control. Learn or add a new detail about the world depending on the scope you wish to add. Oh, so it can just be anything? Not even focus on Oliver?
Yeah, it can be anything that you want to add to it.
I want there to be his like bike tire is like off his bike and it's in his room.
Okay. Signaling like he didn't go somewhere on the bike.
No. Like it should still be in town. He's either very out of town or he's still like in town. But maybe there's something like his parents carpool to work usually because, you know, they're encouraged to, because this is like a renewable energy company. So there's also like one of the cars still in the driveway, so they haven't like left town probably, right? Not probably, but
yeah, for sure. So okay, you see that, you put those things together. I think the only thing that does feel kind of homey in this house is on the fridge. There's a list, and or actually no, it's a schedule for sure. And on the schedule, you notice that 2 days ago is what would it take your son to work day, basically, is what you see.
Oh no, that's horrible.
Dun dun dun.
2 days ago was when he disappeared.
Dun dun dun. And then we do the cut back to you three going to the field. You get there. This thing is like, doing its undulating and all that kind of stuff. And the thing completely warps into a like giant, what would it be, like a perfect sphere, I guess. But it would be completely green. And inside, there's like, you can tell there's like a sheet. It almost looks like it's a shield for a person inside of it, like not like, it's kind of like a cell, except that there's a person inside of it, and it's completely round. It looks man-made, just like the substance that it came from. And yeah, that's what you see. It kind of like makes that metamorphosis as you roll up on it. What do you do?
Well, that's not good.
Yeah.
Okay. As I arrive, I get off my bike, just drop it, looking at that thing in awe a little bit. Then, Clutch, I have on my jacket a row of like Power Ranger-like characters, like a red one, a yellow one, a pink one, a purple one. I just clutching them as I approach the sphere. How big is it?
Let's say 10 feet by 10 feet.
Okay, so a Pokeball for a person. Okay. So unless something happens, I'm going to go all the way to it and hug it.
And hug it. Interesting. Okay.
Trying to listen to it and trigger my move.
What is your move?
When you can hear and speak the language of machines and electronics, and then we'll attempt to converse with it.
Interesting. I like it. So what are you hitting on for your move?
Eccentric, curious, and brash.
I think it's brash. Cool. So +1.
Finally, something. 11.
Woohoo! Praise the Lord.
It's not fair. I'm not going to get eaten by it. So I have to choose 2. I will mark XP.
Boom. Get that XP.
And gain insight as DMC. A question, I think, a +1 forward when acting on it later. So the question is what exactly it is.
So it is Oliver, as people may have put together. It's Oliver in like a really, you feel like maybe the insides of the ball are like, they have like waves emanating out from him, and you can like feel that he is like desperately sad and alone in there, and recreating that circumstance, unbeknownst to him, perhaps.
Okay.
So remember that you have +1 forward. What is everybody else thinking, feeling, doing?
That's a big, giant, glowing ball of sadness.
Yes.
And I want to yell at Malik to get away from it. Because like it like tore up the ground on its way down, right? Just shredded it, you said. So I don't know, it's dangerous. Don't hug it.
In terms of a move, are you trying to do something?
Yeah, I want to get him to try and back away, which I think is when you try to get your way, like yell at him to back down.
Like Darren's comment, I guess Beeby isn't the bossy one.
I know. Okay, you know what? That's right. That's right. I am unassertive. That makes I shouldn't.
No, that's fine. You don't always have to act towards your traits, right? Part of the game is finding out who you are. So that's perfectly legit.
It's true, but I don't know if he is that. I like him more of as a cynical, sit in the back kind of person. Maybe now that like, because he thinks Beebi is irresponsible. Neither him nor, in his opinion, Beebi are equipped to handle this situation. So I think it's more of a questioning, not a back away. Malik, he's like, Malik, what are you doing? What is going on? What is that thing? And so maybe I'm not triggering a move there with that.
Sure. Yeah.
So now I'm interested to see what Beebi does.
Sounds good.
I think I'll join because I have to be a leader, right? And Malik kind of went ahead, so I'll go to the other side and hug that, and we can like hold hands or something.
Okay, so you're going just beside Malik to do the same thing that Malik is doing?
Yeah, like on the other side of the circle, so it doesn't get away.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. So, do you think? What do you think you're doing? Are you trying to get a detail, more information, or what?
Sure. More information would be good.
Sounds good. And then, meanwhile, I think like as you start walking that way, Malik, do you respond?
No.
Fair enough.
Would it be like rejecting conformity, like we're hugging this thing?
Do you see it as that? Do you think it's that conformity?
No, I think I'm just staying there, hearing all the loneliness, and that I'm probably crying. And so if they physically remove me from it, I won't fight back or anything.
Sure. Okay. And so if you think you're rejecting conformity, then you are. It's a subjective thing. So
All right, I'll do that.
sounds good. Okay. What are you tagging?
Good question. So leader, I don't have that anymore.
Definitely audacious, I think.
Maybe defensive. Like I'm joining Malik, so if he gets hurt, I will too.
Are you being irresponsible?
That sounds irresponsible.
Yeah. Just a suggestion, but yeah. Cool. So is that 3?
Yeah. And then
Plus
I rolled
one.
a 10, so it's 11.
Oh, nice. You guys are doing the things. Cool. So you choose 3.
So let's discover something about the adult world.
Sounds good. I might ask you how you know this, but essentially you learned that it was take your kid to work day. Oliver went and they completely forgot about him, and he got lost and started wandering the facility and stuff. And then he basically overflowed into this creature of loneliness.
So
you learned that the adult world is a dick.
I think I'll let Malik choose one too.
Sure.
And then for the last one, I guess change the label, or yeah,
change or remove.
Irresponsible. That doesn't seem like a good idea.
Okay. Remember that irresponsible is the one given to you, though. I wonder. I'm not sure if you could change that one, to be honest.
Can we remove the other ones then?
Yeah, I think you could change other ones. I'll codify it in the rules more, but I think the one that is given to you from that playbook wouldn't be able to be removed. I'll think about that more, but it makes sense to me because it seems weird that the player would be able to change that one in particular just because of the way their move works.
All right, I'll try removing Bossy then.
Sure. Sounds good. Okay. Now, also remember that distress is subjective. So if you learn stuff that is distressing to you, you can take distress. And then we cut back to Oliver's house after gaining that meta knowledge. What up, Helio? What are you doing?
I guess I'm going to the turbines.
Sounds good.
If I know, or let's just put me there. I don't need like a scene of biking.
No, yeah.
I biked
yeah.
over there.
Yes. Okay. So the next time we see you is you arriving there, right?
Hmm.
So what are you thinking and feeling when you see this, right? Like your two friends on either side of this weird man-made ball thing with a person inside of it. And yeah. What you feeling?
What am I feeling? I think I'm still angry.
Are you angry?
Because, like, they're just here. I'm just mad. It's like irrationally mad that they're here with Oliver in this ball and nothing's happening. And I had to like figure this out on my own. And yeah, I'm just mad. I don't know what that looks like. I mean, I think it's like, maybe it's something like I think I'm probably like trying to say something about how like Oliver wouldn't have gotten caught like this if he wasn't like off by himself or if he wasn't like left alone. You know what I mean? And then like really trying to draw a parallel here between how I was left alone.
Are you trying to express yourself?
Yeah, I think that's a good way to view that. And I guess that would trigger my other reach out again, but
okay.
I don't know if I want it to. Well, I guess I can just not do anything if it's a high roll. So I have 2 rolls to make. It's many rolls. What am I doing?
Well, I don't know if you're like, it's up to you, I guess, if what you're doing is triggering both. You could just be triggering express yourself.
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess reach out's triggering because I'm trying to express anger.
Sure.
I think it's like fragile and sensitive.
Are you expressing yourself to Oliver?
I mean, to like everyone. Everyone's here, right?
Yeah, but who do you want to reciprocate? Like, who are you targeting specifically?
Oh, I don't think I'm targeting anyone. I'm just like going off.
Okay.
I'm just like yelling. Because I don't know. There's no one like at fault here, really. I'm expressing myself to me.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh, well. It's a 3. Oh, okay. Well, for reach out, on a miss, the MC chooses options from take a powerful blow as though I had rolled a 10+.
Okay.
I'm going through it.
Okay.
Let's take a powerful blow. A 10+, choose one. Oh, okay. I'm really going through it.
Sounds good.
I don't.
So,
I have
so
a
you
feeling
choose
I
one?
don't. Well, yeah, choose one as if I rolled a 10 plus.
Okay.
You do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The MC chooses options. So do with me what you will.
Okay. I like that. I'm really going through it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Okay, well, one that makes sense for sure is the 7 and 9. You lose yourself verbally attacking another PC and giving them a label, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had to decide who that is, but I kind of even like that it's everybody, kind of, right? Like, so what label do you think this is? Like, some sort of betrayal thing, or like not good enough friends, or just like jerks, or
Self-centered.
self-centered? That sounds good. Yeah. What do you
Yeah,
think, Darren?
I like self-centered. Yeah, I like self-centered. I can't. I'm like fading fast, so this is like I can't think of anything. But I like self-centered because it's not really like that terrible. Because
Yeah.
I think it should reflect on like how I'm seeing them, right? And it's a selfish thing that I'm doing. So yeah, self-centered works.
Cool. Okay. And then I think I'm going to give your opponent an opportunity to choose another PC to take a powerful blow.
Wow. Okay. Who's
So,
closest to Oliver? Is Malik still hugging it?
yeah, I think it's Malik. It makes the most sense because
Yeah.
he's crying and already affected, so we might as well make that mechanical.
Sorry.
So, you have 1 distress. Is that right? Cool. So, roll 2d6 plus 1.
Okay, so this one is a standard PBT roll.
Yes. You just roll plus distress harm, so it's like the harm of from.
Of course, 9 rolling high on that move.
You got 9.
9, yeah.
Cool. So choose one of the ones below. You can even continue to pass it forward if you want.
No, I'll stop the chain of violence.
Okay.
We'll endure the pain, pushing on. I will take 1 harm and add bad threat to be repressed.
Cool. So how did it make you feel? What is it?
Well, it says harm, but I guess it means distress.
Yeah. It's distress and harm are interchangeable.
Okay.
It depends if you're a robot or
Okay.
a kid.
I'm just a kid. I think it hits me that more that I didn't think of Helio and just focused on Oliver. So I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to call that threat.
Selfish?
Yeah.
Cool. And so you know how Helio's feeling, you know how Oliver is feeling. Since let's getting to wrap it up, I think. So maybe knowing that information, how would you diffuse this situation? I would suggest you could shape the world, add a detail, and then use that to sort of diffuse Oliver.
All right.
Turn into a robot. I attack Oliver because he feels sad.
Well,
love is pain, baby.
Can I attack his sadness?
Sure. If
turn into a robot and like defeat the loneliness around him.
Sure. So what does it look like to turn into a robot? That's completely your fiction. What is the transformation look like and such?
Okay, I think my robot needs a sword So it started with sword appearing on my back, and as I draw it, the scabbard like unfolds, and robotic parts are enveloping me and creating the robot. I don't know how tall you're supposed to be in these.
But it's whatever you want. Each robot form is subjective to the character. So
All right.
you could be a little robot if you wanted to be, or you could be very tall.
All right. I'll say I'll be as high as the sphere, so 10 feet. I think you said.
Mm-hmm.
And what do I lash out at the sadness?
Or it could be that, or it could be rising to the moment.
Oh yeah, rising to the moment. Perfect.
So what is it that frightens you about this situation?
It frightens me because it might as well have been me.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
Oh my god, I don't have a lot that applies to what's happening here. Brash and Space Cadet?
Yeah. I think eccentric, right? You're attacking sadness?
I'll take it. I won't argue. I'll just take it.
Yeah.
Oh no, 7.
Cool. Acting will leave
Thanks
you
for
vulnerable.
eccentric.
Cool. So it's going to leave you vulnerable. And you choose to go back, to back down or go through with it. So I think what ends up happening is, well, how do you imagine it looks like to attack the loneliness and the sadness, for one? What does it look like on screen, like in the anime of this?
I think as my robot form finished transforming, they're like pods that detach and fly around the sphere and like scan it with some kind of waves, and that like green blue energy is like just sprout out of the sphere, and I jump to it and slash it in two.
Dang, okay. Sounds good. So you do that, and I think what ends up happening is it becomes like it has the qualities of water a little bit, right? Like you're sloshing around in it and stuff, and you hear Oliver's voice in your head, and it just says, "Prove it." And you know instinctually that you can defeat all of this, but the way that you would do it is by allowing your like it's latching onto you, kind of like liquid pulling away at your robot form. And you know that if you waited and took it all, it would take your robot form completely away from you into itself, and that would make Oliver come back. Basically, it's like a test. Mechanically, I would be mostly doing the a part of you is cut off part from take a powerful blow. In future sessions, you'd be like working on getting that back, but in the moment, that's kind of what this is.
All right. Well, just for the sake of being the hero, I'm going to go through with it.
It sounds good.
But on a longer campaign, I will be very much hesitant right now.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. So yeah, all of the sadness that was in the ball basically envelops you and strips away your robot form, and then we're left with Oliver and y'all standing there just as regular kids. What do you people think Oliver looks like?
I've been imagining him as, actually, it was on your board, your Never Best board. Like one of the top images is how I sort of immediately imagined him. Of course, now I can't find it because I'm trying to go through just Pinterest. Like short, blonde, big, round glasses.
Sure.
That's how I've imagined him.
Like this one, I think, right?
It's loading. Yeah. Go with round glasses in my mind, but that's me.
Okay. Sounds good. I don't see round glasses, but yeah. Cool. So they're standing there, and then maybe that's the like thing that we cut on, right? Like executive producer or whatever. Because some of the exposition is handled by the final move, which we can go to now then. I know people are tired. So end of session, we go through these questions on page 5. Did anyone prove a good repressed trait false? If yes, you erase it. If you proved it correct, you mark XP.
I don't think I did either with my repressed.
Yeah. I think maybe Helio did.
Or something. Prove it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, okay, yeah. Did you use the established visual motifs in play to reinforce the themes of the game? If you did, mark XP. Feel like yes, we all generated it all this time. So, yes. Did you learn something new and important about the world? What do people think? Feels like, again, because it's the first session, we just made the world. It's kind of a gimme, but yeah.
Don't go wandering around the wind turbines alone, apparently. You get turned into a robot.
Don't go chasing waterfalls, Oliver.
Yeah, I think the sheer danger of what happened to Oliver is a lesson.
Mm-hmm. Did anyone defeat their embodied bad trait of theirs? If so, increase your NO level. And finally, if you marked XP for internalizing how your character chooses to grow up, then you mark XP. So did your character learn anything about this situation at all? Then you can choose to mark XP and verbalize to everybody what your character learned and what it means to your character. Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Don't go chasing waterfalls or windmills.
Don't tilt windmills. It's all adages.
I'm just right now super bummed that we didn't get any Don Quixote anything with all the windmills around.
Well, that was the last scene, right? It was with the windmills. Maybe not.
Oh, I should have used a spear instead of a sword just to do the Don Quixote. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can retcon it if you want. It was actually
it was spear. I don't think my character actually learned. Lots of things happened to him, but I don't think he got the lesson.
No.
No.
Okay. Interesting. Because even like you took a label about how you.
Oh yeah, true. We got a threat, all of it. But, oh yeah, okay.
Like in a way, Helio like informed y'all what was up, right? So there's always that.
Yeah, I think it was all about sticking together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two people over 4-person group.
What about Helio? Did they learn anything about how they are choosing to grow up and taking away experiences and such?
I don't know. I don't know if he ever got to a point where he was expressing his anger healthily, and they never engaged with like the dependency thing. I don't think so.
Okay. And at the end of an episode, so basically, in longer play, each of these things will probably be 2 shots, I imagine, where like there'll be a sort of Oliver type situation and a threat. And once it's dealt with, just like at the end of FLCL episodes, it gets a reset. I don't know if it's interesting to y'all if you want to do a reset, because we just build everything. We can do it if you'd like. What do you all as players feel.
What does a reset totally entail?
We answer some questions about how the world has changed since these things have happened. So it's kind of like at the end of FLCL where he's like, in the end, we learned X, Y, Z, and the town went back to normal, but these things stayed the same. That kind of stuff. So, and it's also where we would add new visual motifs to the world via adult world and counterculture and what survived the reset, stuff like that. So maybe it's not super pertinent to this particular episode, but what do people think?
Sure.
I'm not opposed to it.
Or just do a debrief. Are those like the options?
Yeah, or just do a debrief. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm good with whatever. So sign me up.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll just try to blow through this real quick then. So when a threat has been dealt with, a reset occurs. That happened. All of the players decide for themselves how much their characters remember after reset occurs. And if whatever feels right for the fiction is the answer for that. Then the players volunteer answers for the following questions. From the audience perspective, how do we know a reset has occurred? FLCL, that would be the smoke coming over all the town and everything going back to normal, yada yada. Someone expresses their character's thoughts and perspective on what happened at a meta level or in character, their choice. Someone says what any lasting changes survive the reset, physically or otherwise. So it could be like some of the windmills are still broken or something like that. And then the last two things are adding a visual motif to the adult world or adding a visual motif to the countercultural world. Does any of those things speak to anyone? And I can put it in chat too.
I like the idea that what remains behind is the giant gouged up tract of land from where the windmill broke loose.
But the windmill is repaired.
Yeah. The windmill, like nobody even noticed, but that's still there. People are like, huh, I wonder what that was.
Cool. Anyone have an idea of how we know the reset occurred at the end of the episode?
Is it the windmills? Like, did they do
Is it
something?
just that?
It's just the windmill's been repaired and nobody thought twice about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
It could be that simple. Yeah.
I like the idea of like involving birds, right? Because you don't see birds any other time.
Oh, interesting. So like birds fly over the town or something like that?
Yeah, and then you see the windmill start again or something.
And then they don't come back. Yeah, they're like, fuck this place.
That's really good.
Cool.
Oh. I don't know how to do it in a visual way, but I kind of want to see like the adults in town be less attentive to not just kids, like maybe everything that's like below their waist level. I just don't know how to.
No, that's fine. It doesn't always have to be cinematic. That's cool. And then,
well, maybe you get a shot of like everyday life just from adults, but the camera is always like from below, never from above, as to not see what's his hinky lower.
Cool. Yeah, I like that. And then is there any additional visual motifs for adult world or counterculture? Do we think?
I think counterculture needs milk bags, right?
The milk bags are the big thing that stood out to me for that. But other than that, personally, no.
Okay. Sounds good. Milk bags it is.
Limited edition milk bags. Pictures on it.
Sure. I'll offer one for the adult world, like how they're trying to commodify the experience as though it never happened. Maybe they start packaging like marbles in things, right? As like the circular sphere of Oliver. Maybe they start disseminating that, and it's the cool thing in right now, and it has the logo of the plant on it in the town.
That's good.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna stop the broadcast. That was Never Knows Best.